but you've both been summoned from the city to answer the call for jury duty at the local city courthouse located right in the heart of Raccoon City. I feel like you can hear something in the distance coming outside. It's very faint, but it's kind of like shouts, like there's a fight going on or something outside the courthouse itself. Seems like you heard a smash, but you kind of put it out of your mind.
Must be the birds.
I would add that probably Elise does practice with a handgun due to the kidnapping of her sister.
Okay.
She's like, you know.
That explains your firearms.
Right.
Okay.
So she's like, I'm not going to fight somebody off physically, but, you know, I am going to carry a, you know, or at least learn how to carry a gun. Because we're in the United States and she can do that.
There's a bailiff here. And you kind of hear his radio crackling, which is a bit weird, and he just switches it off. Then the judge enters and takes his seat. No more than a second after reaching his station, a massive bang shocks everyone in the courthouse.
Heavens!
The building suddenly shakes for a moment. Plaster dust falls from the ceiling as everyone stays silent. And then everything suddenly gets noisy. Screams and shouts of alarm can be clearly heard from the hallway outside the courthouse. And dark smoke is beginning to seep under the door. Can you both give me another awareness check, please?
I crit the smoke.
There's a distinct smell of gasoline in the air.
Oh, fire!
Maybe we should adjourn and evacuate here?
The doors open, and in moves someone with a Raccoon Police Department uniform. He immediately turns around, shoves the doors closed, shoves his back up against it, and he's bracing his back against the doors. His eyes are wide and frenzied. Help me! Help me prop the door!
Are there any windows? Your Honor, something's happening. We need to stop the proceedings for now.
Well, the member of the jury is correct, but we must sort out this nonsense. Bailiff, call for the others. Get some security here. Elise, can you give me a strength check, please? Boom! The doors burst open in a flash of light and smoke. Yeah, there seems to be heavily injured people just like stumbling forwards. There's fire, there's rubble everywhere, and you can see basically a truck, an articulated lorry, has just ploughed through to the middle of this courthouse, spilling gasoline across the floor, and the fire is quickly spreading. He starts screaming as they're like biting at him, ripping flesh from his arms.
Can I grab his gun?
Okay, so actually the zombies are going first.
Oh no!
So this one moves on to get the bailiff. Just see if it gets him. Yep. The bailiff immediately drops. They're not going for you yet, Elise. Alright, if you back off, he'll take an attack of opportunity against you.
Well, it's better than getting attacked by three.
That is actually a hit. D4 damage. Okay, 1 damage.
Now this is not very hygienic.
He managed to just like bite at you, but you pulled away so fast that his teeth just kind of scraped the skin from your arm slightly. It hurts, it stings, but it wasn't too bad at all.
Is there a way out of here in the back?
He just looks kind of shocked. He doesn't really understand what's going on. He was going to shout against the noise again, but now he's wide-eyed. He knows something's wrong, but he's just frozen in place.
You know, what the hell? I'm gonna pick up the gavel and shove it at his arm.
Oh dear. No. So you got a total of 0. Just ends up clattering off the ground, ending up about here.
It was the quickest thing I could think of.
I will shout out that let's free these mad people.
Okay, can you give me a command authority roll, please?
Oh, damn it.
Rather than listening to you, they immediately just panic and start scattering.
I'm gonna be one of them scattering.
You open the door and you see there's a bailiff waiting by the rear entrance, the juror's entrance to the court building. This is a kitchen where they would basically serve jurors things, but there's no one there at the moment, probably because it's so late in the day. This bailiff also looks a bit frantic. What's going on out there?
There's some mad people, they're eating her, then they're gonna eat me!
So other people seem to be following you, Dr. Renfield. But after that, it is zombie turn. They see fresh prey. The prosecutor takes a bite, but she isn't dead. She takes a horrible bite and she screams out. It's pretty horrible. She doesn't even scream, it just like kills her so quickly, but...
more like...
She just kind of instantly goes into shock.
This guy is just like... Even from where you are, Elise, and all the noise, you can hear him going, oh god, oh god, oh god, because they're getting closer.
You know, run, get out of here.
I should have made a professional boxer.
Kind of look at Robert and just kind of look at him and say, we gotta get out of here.
Everybody get in.
Already, this door down here, there's a kind of banging against it, as something seems to be trying to figure out how to open it. You see a security guard manning a security station. He seemed to be completely absorbed in the monitors, but as soon as he realizes the door is open, he whirls round and just like bellows at you, and he's like, get away! And he's like holding a nightstick, holding it back, ready to strike you if you get any closer. He falters a little, and he's like, what are those things? They're everywhere.
Well,
I can see them on the screens.
here is just gonna get you dead. How do we get out of here? Where don't you see them? Well, come with us. Let's get out of here. Staying here is just gonna get you done. The zombies are in the courtroom.
Okay. I'll come with...
Come with me if we want to leave.
So, Dr. Renfield, you said you would like to move a sofa?
Are we gonna do a complete, like, Blues Brothers? Like, we push all the crap that we find.
Okay, you hear a bang, like a door slamming open.
Oh, that's the, fire door.
Do either of you have a backup weapon?
We don't have guns in the courthouse, it's just nightsticks. There are guns, but they're upstairs and locked away, and that means going back the way we came.
I'm gonna check for scissors.
Come out of combat for this.
Letter openers. You know,
Okay.
anything pointy.
Neither of you has knowledge kitchens. The sharpest things here are pens.
Just stab him in the eye with it.
I found some kitchen knives if you guys want.
In America, we can just shoot guns for fun.
You guys hear another scream coming from behind the door that you've blocked. Sounds like a woman's scream. This guy kind of backs away slightly. After a short while, after the scream, this guy kind of looks away from the woman next to him, and the woman just fucking bolts out.
Yes, please. Lure the zombies away. Do we want to stay here, or do we want to make a run for it?
I don't know what these maniacs are, and I, like, carefully peek from this window. I would probably want to do a local area check.
Do I have a crazy uncle with a bunker?
Yes. I just rolled and it's natural 20. Yes, you do. Unfortunately, he lives on the outskirts of town. But hey, if you can get there.
I was wondering something close, more like, I am looking for the closest shelter that could act temporarily as a
Okay.
shelter. Something that we wouldn't permanently stay in.
Well, the St. Michael clock tower is pretty close by. At this point, the sofa rattles as something is pushing against the door behind it, and you can hear these moans coming from the other side.
Alright, we gotta go. So I'd want to try to lure them towards us so we can run around them.
Well, they are going to start moving towards you. So the female zombie is actually going to do a lunge.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, she's missed. That was a 6.
Really?
Rolled a 7, she has a -1. Okay. So it kind of dived at you, but because you were slightly higher up, the zombie ends up just like diving forward, stumbles over, collapses at your feet, and it's just like trying to claw at your legs, but you just move your leg back. It's gonna try and bite you. It's up to Renfield. Here we go. Believe it's hit. It does 3 piercing damage.
Ow.
So she's just fucking shrieking and screaming and running past them, and they tried to swipe at her, but completely failed. Dr. Robert Renfield. There's a zombie near you.
I'm gonna bolt.
So on the streets itself, you finally get an idea of the full chaos that is gripping this city. Things are just getting crazy out here.
Like, try not to make any sound. Right? So I'd kind of like grab her head gently and kind of look at her and say, okay, get you pull yourself together. I know it's scary. I know it's nuts. I've never seen this either, but we gotta survive.
She doesn't respond, but she does nod, like slowly. So she seems to have understood, and she seems to calm ever so slightly.
So I'd like give her a quick hug and then like a pat on the shoulder and say, okay, we gotta do this. You know.
She nods again. Sure enough, you managed to boost Elise. She's a little heavier than she looks. Okay, what you see is a stark contrast to what you've seen elsewhere. The grounds are fairly empty. You can see there seems to be some people, whether they're people or zombies, you can't quite tell at this distance, but they're wandering around. Okay, and you find yourself in the grounds itself. Do you close the gate behind you or leave it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or should we?
Yeah, sure.
Immediately in front of you is a desk. There is a large, heavy bell in this corner.
Yeah, can we pull the desk up behind the door?
You hear a shriek behind you as soon as you started to move through the door. You notice the woman who is with you, hands just smash through the window behind her, grab her and pull her out.
Oh god. Oh, fuck. That went well.
Yeah, there seems to be a woman just in front of the door, and even though you can only see the back of her head because she seems to be fiddling with something at the door, you recognise her as the woman who ran away from the courthouse.
Did you come through that way or that way? Points like where we came and points where she's fiddling.
I can't get through this door, it's locked. I came the other way. I was trying to pick the lock, and she like steps back and she's got
Do you know if people are in there?
I was calling, but no one's responded.
Seems you are not the master of unlocking.
Why, there's a typewriter in this room.
I want to save.
You save your game, but you don't have an increment.
Oh god.
You're looting through here. One of the cabinets catches your eye. You open it up, and inside is a gun. It's a shotgun.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Jill Valentine who has to now.
She'll have her own stuff by then. You spend some more time searching this room. There doesn't seem to be any ammo in here. However, there is a small tray which is growing some plant life, where you find 2 green herbs.
Herbs. We don't leave anything for Jill.
This room, weirdly, is some kind of bedroom.
What?
Yes, this clock tower is one of the oldest buildings in Raccoon City. It was originally a house where it was like a governmental house, and then they built the clock tower on top of it. What that means is there's a lot of history. Some of the rooms are preserved. Basically, it seems like you've come into the hosting and like showroomy kind of.
Yeah, like a museum.
Yeah. Inside is some jewelry and what appears to be a box of shotgun shells.
Oh damn.
Okay.
I'm gonna reload them into the shotgun.
I do actually need you to give me a firearms roll though. See if you can reload it appropriately. Yes.
It's all coming back to me.
I remind him that, you know, the minute he uses that shotgun, everything is gonna hear it. Let's not use the shotgun unless we absolutely have to.
That sounds like someone talking through a megaphone, or at least you can make out most of what's being said. It seems to be a police officer. On the main street, we are evacuating. Everyone who can hear this, make your way to the main street. We are evacuating to safe zones. You have approximately 10 minutes.
Oh shit. Oh god damn it, fucking where is she? That one woman.
I have an idea.
As you
Shit!
boom, you shoot it right in the face. Part of its arm blows off and it's forced backwards slightly.
Gonna take up some distance.
Okay, yep.
And hopefully Elise is the trick.
Elise can attempt to kick it away first. That is a critical fail. So, what happens is you attempt to kick the zombie away, and unfortunately, in the process, it just kind of grabs your leg and pulls you towards it. Makes you fall prone, and then it's on top of you, and it's going to take a bite at you.
Oh god.
That is a 9. So it still fails, but it is on top of you, and it's trying to chew at your face, and you're just like holding it off, like got your hand around its throat, just trying to hold it back. And
I'll save you. I was thinking of doing a cold shot.
it's quite hard to stab someone who's on top of you and trying to hold him off while he's trying to bite you. So you just like kind of stab him slightly in the side of the head, and you see his head like bucking with the movement as you keep stabbing, but it's not doing too much damage. But, yeah.
Shoot it. I'm gonna go full on swallow this.
It's just like you literally point it up to its scalp and just pull the trigger. And the gun bucks in your arms, and it just like splatters brains everywhere. As you're looking, you hear a growl, and then something steps out from behind a hedge. Apparently, it had been laid.
Shit, let's go back in.
Suddenly, it springs forward and lunges. So you're taking 3 bite damage.
I kneeled and I rolled a 1.
Shit. Previously, you thought you had loaded the weapon correctly. It seems like one of the things is jammed. It fizzes and sparks backwards, and you take 3 points of heat damage as it burns your hands.
I shout out to Elise to run. I will just hand the shotgun to Elise. I don't know. Or drop it to the ground, because I know that those fucking dogs are gonna come after me.
Okay. Which of those two would you like to see? You can give it to Elise if you want, but she'll need to drop. Actually, no, she doesn't have room right now, so you would literally have to drop the shotgun, and then she'd have to swap it. So you stand up, attempt to move away. It is going to try and stop you by biting onto your arm. Rolled an 18. It doesn't actually do any damage, it just holds onto you. You are currently grappled.
Oh, okay.
It's got your arm, which had the gun in it, and you're like trying to pull your arm out, and fortunately it's not quite biting through yet, but if you stay here you can tell it's going to. Wow, you guys managed to get in a bad situation. That natural 1. So this one sails up to you, kind of leaps, and you just dodge aside, and it ends up flying straight past you into the wall. Kind of just goes boof. It's like dog. This is the dog that's got you, Doctor.
Okay.
And is about to cause some damage. 4 damage.
Oh,
That's
0.
just enough, yeah.
Pick up the herbs.
Woof, woof, woof. And he rolled a 3, so they both miss. You do in fact hear a shout coming from the other side of the gate saying, "What's going on? Are you okay?"
Yeah, I was fine.
Okay.
Come over here. He's hurt. These dogs are attacking us.
This one's gonna attempt the same thing. That's a natural 1. So you kick it, it basically, you kind of just kick it right round the side of the head as it jumps at you, and it ends up falling prone in this space here. It's gonna have a jump at you. That is a 9, which misses. This policeman comes through the gate. Fortunately it wasn't locked, and he sees what's going on. This guy comes through the door. Security guard. And he's also got a gun.
I'm going to use an herb on the doctor and grab his shotgun.
You get up to 4 hit points. You are still unconscious and down, but you are no longer in the dying state. It's going to have a shot. The one on the ground.
If we get levels, I know exactly what stat to boost up if that's possible.
The dog on the ground kind of goes "Arr!" as it gets shot. This guy steps here. You can take an attack of opportunity if you wish, Elise. You would have to use unarmed, or you could stab it with your fountain pen. Yeah, as the dog like gets up, you're just like ah, and swing the shotgun round and crack it right on the side of the head. Its head snaps backwards, and the dog is just like flown in this direction and just crumples down. The other dog has a few options. It's going to go for the new guy who approached him, and it's going to attack. Like as it like bites at his arm, grabs hold of it. You come to consciousness and you see what happened, and you're like, oh god, what was that? Moving for the gate, fair enough. The cop sees this and it's like, I'll cover you. The cop is going to back up slightly, get a better shot on that dog. That's actually a miss. He's basically lined up the shot perfectly, is about to shoot the dog, and then the dog just kind of jerks sideways just in time, drags the security guard the same way, and the security guard just like, the bullet just whips past his arm and just sprays blood. It's like, ah! Didn't quite hit him, but it just skimmed him. Okay, Robert Renfield, you're up. You can play again, and it's your turn. Double move?
Yep.
Okay, are you both bugging out?
Yeah, I would signal to the police to come with us.
Yeah, he is.
Elise is probably going to grab those herbs on the way out.